She was standing in my driveway when I got home, arms crossed, a smirk like she'd just won a chess match. The air still carried a faint whiff of smoke. My house was nothing but charred beams and ash. I hadn't even finished talking to the fire inspector when she shouted, loud enough for the neighbors to hear, "You shouldn't have broken the HOA rules. This is what happens." My hands trembled not from fear, but from knowing exactly what she'd done. I didn't respond. I just stared at the tiny glint of gold on her wrist, a charm bracelet I'd seen before, dangling in the background of my home security footage, the same footage that showed a figure pouring gasoline on my porch 2 nights ago. She stepped closer, feigning concern. "Insurance won't cover this, you know. HOA violations voided." Her voice oozed fake authority. Neighbors peeked from behind curtains, silent. I took a slow breath. "Lisa, you do realize I own this land outright, right? No HOA jurisdiction here." Her smirk faltered for a split second. Then she laughed. "We'll see what the judge says. I've already filed a complaint. You'll be gone before you can rebuild." If only she knew. The judge she mentioned? My cousin. And he already had the footage. I turned and walked toward the ruins of my home, boots crunching on shattered glass. She thought she'd destroyed me, but she'd just made the biggest mistake of her life. The courtroom was packed not just for my case, but because in a small town like Sage Hollow, word of an HOA president accused of arson spread like wildfire. Lisa strutted in like she owned the place, heels clicking, sunglasses on indoors. Her expensive perfume overwhelmed the room, much like her personality. She glanced at me, smirked, and whispered to someone, "He's going to lose everything." I sat quietly, my worn leather jacket draped over the chair, hands folded, eyes on the judge. Lisa didn't notice the 2 uniformed deputies in the back, who'd been reviewing my security footage for the last 48 hours. When the judge and me cousin, though Lisa was clueless, called the case, she launched into her speech. "Your Honor, this man has blatantly violated HOA rules, damaging community property. His recent fire incident is suspicious at best. I request his immediate removal from the property before more harm is done." I stayed silent, sliding a USB drive to my lawyer. The wall screen lit up. First, a grainy night vision clip, someone creeping onto my porch with a red canister. Then, the unmistakable flash of Lisa's charm bracelet as the figure struck a match. Gasoline ignited, flames leaping, her face clear for a moment, glancing at the camera. A murmur rippled through the room. Lisa's confident smile wavered, but she tried to recover. That's not me. It's fake. A deep fake, or whatever." The judge leaned forward, voice calm but cutting. "Ms. Harper, care to explain why the bracelet you're wearing today matches the one in this footage?" Her face paled. For the first time, she had no comeback. It was just the first crack in her armor. She started stammering, words tumbling like she was trying to outrun the truth. "I was home that night. You can't prove it was me. It's a setup." She pointed at me like I'd conjured the whole thing. The deputies didn't wait for the judge's order. They stood and approached her, one holding a manila folder. "Ma'am, cell tower data shows your phone pinged the tower closest to his property at 11:42 p.m. when the fire started." Her jaw tightened, but she doubled down. "So what? I was in the neighborhood. That's not a crime." The second deputy held up an evidence bag with a single silver charma, tiny house, edges blackened. "We found this in the ashes of his porch. Matches your bracelet." Gasps filled the room. Lisa's hands instinctively covered her wrist, as if she could hide it now. Her voice cracked. "That's impossible." I leaned forward, meeting her eyes. Impossible, or just careless? Her glare could have sparked another fire, but beneath it, fear crept in. The judge's gavel hit once. "Ms. Harper, you'll remain here while the deputies confirm evidence with the arson investigation team. Do not attempt to leave." She sank into her chair, clutching her purse like a lifeline, realizing she wasn't running the show anymore. But she had no idea what was coming next. The next witness walked in, and Lisa's head snapped toward the door like she'd seen a ghost. It was Jake, my neighbor 2 houses down, the one she'd bragged to for months about dealing with me. He walked to the stand, avoiding her stare. "Tell the court what you told me yesterday," my lawyer said. Jake cleared his throat. 2 nights before the fire, I was outside fixing my car. I saw Lisa loading what looked like gas cans into her SUV. She said she was finally going to solve the problem next door. I didn't think she meant this. His eyes flicked to me, then dropped. I should have spoken up sooner. Lisa slammed her hands on the table. Lies. He's lying for him. They're all lying. The judge didn't flinch. Sit down, MS. Harper. But it wasn't over. My lawyer clicked to the next piece of footage traffic camera at the intersection near my house. There was Lisa's SUV, 11:38 p.m., heading toward my street, its cracked taillight unmistakable, just like the one in the courthouse parking lot. The deputy stepped forward. MS. Harper, we have a warrant to search your vehicle. Care to make a statement now? Her breathing quickened. This is harassment. I'm the HOA president. I cut in, voice calm. Funny, because there is no HOA here. You've been pretending for years, collecting fees from people who didn't know better. A ripple swept through the courtroom. Lisa's lips parted, but no words came out. She was caught for the fire, but now a bigger fraud was unraveling in front of everyone. The judge adjusted his glasses, intrigued. Mr. Grayson, you're saying this neighborhood has no legal HOA? I nodded. Yes, sir. County records show the association was dissolved 8 years ago. All her fines, notices, and rules were fake. She's been running her own little empire, and most of us didn't know. A low hum spread through the courtroom. People in the back started whispering, some pulling out phones, likely texting neighbors. Lisa shot up. That's not true. I've kept this community in order. Without me, it'd fall apart. My lawyer slid a document across the table. County clerk's certification of dissolution, plus bank records showing over $200,000 deposited into MS. Harper's personal account over the last 4 years' money collected as HOA fees. Lisa's face turned a dangerous red. You have no right to. The judge cut her off, voice sharp. MS. Harper, I suggest you stop speaking unless you want contempt added to your charges. The deputies edged closer, one resting a hand on his cuffs. The room held its breath. I leaned back, watching her squirm, still calculating an escape that didn't exist. The judge's gavel fell again. We'll take a short recess. Deputies, secure MS. Harper's vehicle and electronics, and ensure she stays put. As they escorted her to the side, she shot me a glare that could shatter stone. But behind it, I saw the panic of someone whose world was collapsing in public. And I wasn't done yet. When court resumed, the air felt heavier, like everyone knew the next moments would seal it all. The deputies returned with a black evidence bag and placed it before the judge. One pulled out a half-empty gas can, its red plastic streaked with soot. This was found in MS. Harper's SUV trunk, the deputy said. Forensics confirms the residue matches the accelerant used in the fire.